Hello, this is Gary with Gabbin with Gary. Thank you so much for tuning in for part two of the interview with Ika. I hope you enjoy. Thank you for
All the
tuning in again.
Ukrainian people are very amazing and resilient. I've heard nothing but the same from everybody. They don't want any handouts. They just want to pull their own weight and contribute because everyone is so thankful.
Yeah.
And it's very heartwarming. It's really important. Um, have you had to go see any doctors?
Here in Munich, yeah, I had to because somehow the war and situation to my work it influenced my mental health, and I'm not that okay as that I was before the war. Like, and I don't know how long it will take me to come back to my nature. I don't know if I can say like that.
I think you're an amazing lady. I think that you'll do fine. I know it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry for you to have the PTSD. PTSD is not we have a lot of issues with that here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know a lot about that. And uh
Yeah.
I'm a veteran myself, so I do understand a lot more.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. I
nothing like
understand.
you. When you're nervous before and then it happens, you're already like this
Yeah.
because you're
Yeah.
waiting for it. You're waiting
Yeah.
for it. And
Yeah.
then it happens and your brain your brain doesn't comprehend, and it's kind of like, oh crap, what do I do? So it's very impressive that you already were packed and had
Mm-hmm.
all your documents ready and such, which is really crazy because I know that in Ukraine all your documents are on your phone, so then you have to find all your paper documents, and that must be even more hard because everything's on your phone normally. And I
Yeah.
know that I've been told that other countries that people have gone to are very behind the times from Ukraine with all the technology. Like I said, there's no paper, there's no nothing. Everything's on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
and that's very interesting. Um, do you do you will you ever forgive the Russians? Will you ever want to be? Do you know anybody in Russia?
Yeah, I know people there, but I don't have any anger or something towards them. It's like I understand that there is a lot of propaganda in Russia, and I was also watching a lot of Russian propaganda in January. And even for me, I knew the truth. I knew how it was in Ukraine, but at some point, you catch yourself believing in this propaganda. But for me, it was just 1 month. I spent only 1 month watching this Lavrov and Putin and everything, and they sound very reasonable. That's why I understand why these people believe in that. And but of course, I don't know many people from Russia. There is only a grandpa. It's brother of my grandpa, and we used to have calls every week with him, disregarding that he's 60 years old and we have something like 30 years difference. Disregarding that, we were talking to each other, and after the war he told me something like, okay, don't worry, soon everything will be fine, Kiev will be taken, and all the Banderovцы will be killed, and all the Nazis, they will be killed. And for me, it was like, I started to smile to him, saying that these people, they don't exist. It's, there is no, and he didn't believe me. I saw that he didn't believe me when I told him that. But after that, we talked more and more, and he stopped telling me these things. He was just supporting me, saying, "Okay, what can I do for you?" and something like that. But I don't have there any friends or someone else who were telling me that you don't know the truth. I don't have such friends, and I'm lucky that I don't have such friends.
A lot of people I've talked to also said that they will never buy anything Russian
Yeah.
or like anything Russian ever again. You?
For me, it's a bit easier because I stopped doing that after the war in Georgia. After 2008, I stopped buying Russian things. I switched to the Ukrainian language. At least for 1 year or something like that, I stopped. I decided that I would never go to Russia, just because I didn't want to support them with my money and everything. And I was living like that for 15 years already by this time.
Like I said, I heard a lot, and it's amazing that you stopped that long ago, because everybody else, it seems like, has just stopped, right when this war started. It's very interesting that you were already, because of Georgia and
Yeah,
such,
yeah,
you were already affected. And you said you lived in Georgia and you moved out of Georgia to Ukraine?
yeah. We lived there in my childhood, like till 92. And after that, there was something like war between different parts of Georgia, but of course it was also supported by Russia. And my parents decided to move to Ukraine, and it was also a tough time because we also were refugees, but we had relatives in Ukraine, and there was something like many people living in a small apartment, but we had no choice.
I'm sorry that you're a refugee again, and to
Yeah, it's
have to
like,
start over. It's so hard starting over.
yeah, but it's life, it's like you have no choice.
You do have no choice. You have to keep on moving forward.
Yeah. I have nothing to lose, It's like I lost everything and I have zero. It's like,
And right now you're living at your host family's home?
no, now we are renting an apartment with my sister and our friend. We are living in an apartment on our own. We're just,
Do you have any animals?
yeah, we have a cat, very fat cat, and we have two pigeons, and we brought them all from Kharkiv.
That's what I was wondering. That's sweet. Was it hard traveling with the animals?
Yeah, it was very difficult for them because cat was scared very much.
I was
He couldn't go to toilet and something. We had to change something like 9 places or 9 apartments before we moved to our apartment in Munich. We changed these places so often, and at some point, cat just decided, okay, my ladies are crazy. Okay, I need just to accept it. And for him, it was also stressful because every time he is brought into a new place, and yeah, and
was he affected by the bombs too?
no, he was with my sister, and it was more or less silent there.
Oh, that's
So,
good. That's good.
yeah,
At least because I heard a lot of bad stories about the animals
yeah.
having their own PTSD and having really hard times with all the booms, and very scary.
He's also has some mental problems because at some point he started to meow. Before he was very silent, and I even didn't know that he has a voice because I never heard it before the war. And now he has mental problems, but we don't know how to help him.
Is he still good?
He is good, but he has something here.
When you say that, when you say he has something, what is he doing that's not normal?
He's saying this meow. It's not typical for him, and
Mhm.
yeah, and we consulted with the doctor, and she said that probably he has also mental problems because before he was always silent, always.
I think when you get to a place, and it sounds like you're in a place now that you're going to be able to stay for a while.
Yeah, we're here from May last year, so
Oh,
we are
so that's
almost,
good.
yeah, we're
That will
almost
be
one.
better for your cat.
I don't know. I guess he also needs some time to recover. He also needs some time to get used to this place, to understand that we are not moving, we are not
That's
going
what I'm
to,
saying. It will take a little
yeah.
time, and he probably hates cars.
No, he likes the car. My car at least, because he feels safe there. And yeah, he's very scared to be outside at the street, and I guess he has an idea that we are going to leave him somewhere, and
Oh,
yeah, he feels very safe in the car.
good. I have
Yeah.
animals. I have cats and dogs,
Oh, that's good.
and my heart is so big. If I had a bigger place, I would have more animals.
Mm-hmm.
I they're my babies,
Yeah.
and so I get it. I love them very much. They're my little kids. I know you sit there and you smile and you laugh because it's hard to really uh to go through some things. I laugh too when I'm nervous like that, or
Mm-hmm.
I start telling a lot of stupid jokes, because I just can't help it. I'm nervous and that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I just, again, I am so sorry that you have to go through anything bad. It makes me cry, actually. Um, I've heard many stories and every story is the same. It's not the same. I mean
Yes.
that it makes me sad
Yeah.
in the same, because everyone has a different story, but none of them's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
None of them's happy because everyone's left Ukraine. No one knows if they're really going to go back, but they miss it very much and they want to go back. But everyone says, oh, I think I'll have to wait 5-10 years before I go back. It's
It's dangerous because of mines also, because
it's
like
it
many people will die after the war just because it's dangerous. Everything in the fields and everywhere, it's with mines.
well, they still, and even in Germany, they're still
Yeah,
finding World War II bombs that drop from
yeah,
American planes and
yeah,
and such. So it's it's I don't even know what to say. And the mines are definitely going to be a problem because
yeah,
they're going to be in the woods where you don't see them, and you'll be walking one day and that will be that.
yeah,
An old
yeah,
mine will be definitely in the woods. That happened in
yeah,
Vietnam. It happens in Iraq. It happened in Afghanistan. I imagine it will happen in Ukraine as well.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's so sad. It's very, very sad. And Putin, the Russian army, to hurt so many civilians just because they're people is disgusting. And And what a way to scare everybody else. I
Yeah,
understand why people are so scared. I mean, you're not even in the army and you're getting shot at. How terrible is that? You're just a person living,
yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah. I don't know why they did it like that. I don't know. I try to understand
But
them,
that's
what,
that's the way they do it.
but why? It's like, it's okay, this old man or this old woman, why you are shooting them? Why? There is no reason. It can be your mom or your grandma. And why are you doing that? It's like I can't explain that to myself, because they used to be normal people, like I don't know, ordinary, someone walking in the street. I don't know, they are not professional killers, and somehow they kill these people out of nothing for no reason. I can't explain that.
I can't explain it either. It's just no reason. And to do the bad things that they did to so many people,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I know that.
I don't mean to try to make you feel sad. It's just horrible. All the
Yeah,
atrocities that have happened during
yeah,
during the 1 year that
yeah.
that should never happen. Uh, how do you feel about President Zelensky before the war? What was he like to you before the war? Was he a good president?
I didn't like him at all. I thought that it was not a good choice to elect this kind of person. I didn't vote for him, and I actually was sure that he would escape the country immediately when the war starts. I was sure, because all his speeches and everything before the war, it was ridiculous. But I changed my mind after the war, because he stayed in Kiev and he's doing really well. I didn't expect that from him. And now I'm very proud and I'm very happy that it was he who was a president of the country, because he
I'm very
managed.
proud of him too.
Yeah, because he managed, just because of his background and experience. He knows how to do. He knows how to show all these terrible scenes, and he's talking about them. And I find it important to talk about this scene, so that people all over the world know that it's not only Putin to blame. It's many Russian people who are doing that and who are supporting him. It's not only about Putin. It's not a Putin's war. It's still many Russians. They believe that it's okay to kill people because these people deserve it. But I don't think that any person deserves to be killed, disregarding what happened, and especially when the reason for that is such ridiculous. It's like how they explain this war. It's I don't know. I simply don't understand that. And I don't understand how it's possible to support that army. I don't know. And many Russians who escaped the country, they still support Putin. They escaped the country only not to go to war, but they are for war. They don't want to fight themselves only. That's the other thing that upset me a lot. That all these people, they consider this war as a chance to move, for example, to Germany or to the USA, saying that I'm a victim, but they are not. They're still, they are not fighting against their Putin. They don't do anything, and it's like I was watching news. Every day I was expecting that they will go to the streets and will have these protests and everything against this Putin, Patrushev, Lavrov, and everyone like that. But they didn't. The biggest thing was something like 1,000 people, and there are 140 millions. 1,000 is nothing. It's like, I don't know. And now they're comparing this protests and everything in Iran, in Georgia, and they're explaining why it's not possible in Russia. But I believe it's still possible. You just simply don't do that. It's like that. And now they bring their Russian peace to other countries. And yeah, like Georgia is in danger, Germany is in danger because there are so many Putin supporters, and they can really bring something not good to these countries. Because now they're saying that, okay, people in Georgia, they don't speak Russian to us, they do not respect us, they must respect us, they must speak Russian to us, they must create schools for our children. Why? Georgia is not Russia, they don't speak Russian, they speak English. It's your problem if you don't know Georgian or you don't speak English. They shouldn't speak Russian to you just because you know Russian language. And that's all. And now I believe that the things that are going on in Georgia right now, it's also because of so many Russians there. It's so many people. They affected very much the life of other people living in Georgia, because, for example, prices for apartments are very high now in Tbilisi and other cities, and Georgian people must pay higher price for their apartment just because of Russians. They didn't bring anything good to the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If there's anything that you want to tell everybody, what would you want to tell everybody?
Yeah, probably there is one thing I wanted to tell, because when I was born, my grandma was alive, and she suffered during the Second World War. She had 3 children, and she was telling me about all that terrible things that she had to go through during the war. And she always told me that you don't understand how happy you are that there is no war. You are so lucky that you have a peaceful sky and you can enjoy life. And I didn't understand that. For many years, I didn't understand that. And now, yeah, I understand that people are so lucky to live in countries without war. It's like, it's a gift for nothing, to enjoy peaceful life, to know that all your friends and relatives are alive, that you have your photos from childhood, you can enjoy your morning coffee or something else. Not everyone can do that, and it's a gift, actually.
Freedom is a gift.
Mm-hmm. Freedom and ability to enjoy peaceful life. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody should have that choice.
Yeah.
Will I be able to talk to you again to see how you're doing?
Yeah. That would be nice.
I would like to check in on you from time to time, just because you're a nice lady, Katerina, and
Oh.
no, really, everybody I've talked to has been extremely nice. Everybody is thankful. Me personally, I feel the need to do this so that people hear what people go through as a human factor, because people don't hear the human factor. Again, I pretty much tell everybody this in an interview, that people don't hear it, and that it's very important to people to hear the human factor around the world, because we only hear that that Bakhmut got bombed, or Ukrainians bombed Russia from Bakhmut, and you don't hear this. You don't hear the real things of what real people have to go through in war, and having to deal with everything that you're dealing with, even after moving away from that area and the war is still going. And again, I'm very, very sorry. I hope that you and your sister become very, very prosperous where you are.
Thank you very much. And actually, I wanted to tell you that I'm very grateful to you that you are doing this kind of job, and you understand why it's so important to talk about these things and bring them to other people and explain them. It's really very important. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. I feel so important to do it. Thank you very, very much. And I know this was a hard conversation, and please relax and have a good night, okay?
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. And then I'll talk to you soon, and please just be safe, okay?
Yeah, I will do my best.
Hello, this is Gary again. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the rest of the interview with Ika. She was great to interview. And again, thank you very much. Please like, please subscribe, please share, and sponsor my channel. Thank you very much.